line graphs here. Okay, so the learning goal is to learn how to interpret line graphs and even to make them and answer questions. So off we go. All right. So I've actually had a look at the Bureau of Statistics, and I've looked at how much rainfall are in a particular month, and I want to say which one it is. I think it was February, but we might have a look at it. And so we're going to look at this graph to see, to answer some of these questions. So the first question is, which state or territory had the most rainfall? Okay, so if we look down the bottom, there's got Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia, Western Australia, and Northern Territory. The only one that's not there is the ACT, but I guess the New South Wales will encompass that. Okay, so which one of them had the most rainfall? Well, it's the one that's got the highest peak. So it's in between Queensland, can you see that there, or Northern Territory. I actually think Northern Territory is slightly higher, so I'm going to go with Northern Territory. All right. How much did New South Wales have? All right, let's have a look at New South Wales. It's here. If I go up from here with New South Wales and I go across, it will tell me how much it is. Now, I want to look at something. See how between these two there's about 20 mils because it goes from 100 to 120. And it's a bit above that because it's around here. Okay. So I'm going to say around... I'm going to say 105 and I know it's millimeters because it tells me there. Okay, so that's how much rain fell in the month. I think it was February, it might have been March. Yeah. Okay, which in this month, which state or territory had the least rainfall? This one's pretty obvious. It looks like it's here, and it looks like it belongs to South Australia. So I'm going to go South Australia. So all we're doing here is looking at graphs and finding information with that. Now, this is what we do all the time in newspapers. There's always graphs and things like that, and we need to know how to interpret it. Okay. All right, convert the following into a line graph. So what we're going to do is that we're going to simply try to replicate that. So at the bottom, I'm going to pull all the states. So I'm going to pull Queensland. I'm just going to pull like that. Queensland, New South Wales. I'm going to go Vic, Tas. And that's not how you do Queensland anyway. I think it's Queensland like that. Tas for Tasmania, South Australia, WA, and then finally the Northern Territory. Now I'm going to look at these lines and go, what's the lowest number? What's the highest number that I can go to? And it's 130. Okay, so that's really important information when I build this guy up here, because I know I need to get to 130. So I'm going to go up by 20s. 20, 40, 60, 80. I put 180 for some reason there. 80. And we're going to try and keep it the same distance away. I know that mine aren't perfect, but if you've got a grid book, you can do that. That's 100, by the way. I'll fix this up. And 120. We're almost to our 130, so that'll be a bit too high. 140. Okay. Now this is the rainfall in millimeters. So you always have to write what it is, and this is the state or territory. All right, so that's a state or territory down there. Okay, so to draw a line graph, all I'm going to do is pretty simple. I'm just going to look at how much rainfall. So there's 74 mils in Queensland, so I'm going to approximately get there. So see how this is 60 and this is 80, so it's going to be somewhere like halfway between that, but maybe closer to 80. So I'm going to do a little cross there above Queensland. And then New South Wales is 71. So it's a bit lower than that. So above New South Wales, I'm going to go up there and put 71. See how it's a bit lower than Queensland's one. Victoria was 42, so that didn't have much. So I almost have to go around there, so a bit higher than that. Tasmania's got a lot, 130, so that's the one up here. So I'm going to go 130, so that will be about there. And then South Australia has 17, so that's pretty low. So it's just a bit under 20, so you'll probably have to go here. So I'm going to do that. WA had 33, so that's almost halfway between 20 and 30, so I'm going to go here. And Northern Territory has 71, which will be the same as New South Wales, which is there. So I'm going to try and make it the same bit there. Okay. Now I'm going to clean this up because it's a bit messy with the dotted lines. They did help me draw it. So let's get rid of these messy dotted lines. And now all I have to do is connect the dots. Now, dot to dot was my favourite game when I was in school. I was in kindergarten and I was really good at dot to dot. And it's going to serve me well with these graphs. Okay. And there we go. That's how we draw a line graph using this. So it looks a little bit like this, just not as neat. All right, so hopefully yours is way neater than mine. I've noticed a few errors here. This disappeared, so and put an arrow there. All right, finally, we're going to look at distance time graphs. Now, distance time graphs are very interesting. They describe distance according to time. And in this one, this time is in minutes, so it'd be minutes. All right, so that's our minutes. And this is meters. So I'll just put M. Okay, so it's meters. All right. So what happens is that I start from home is here. Home is this axis there, essentially. And see, when at 0 time, like now, I'm here, okay? And I have travelled nothing because I'm at home, okay? But on a day when I was in isolation, I decided to go for a walk, all right? As I was walking, 15 minutes later, I had walked around, it looks like 350 meters, all right? After 30 minutes, it looks like I have walked how much? 500 meters. So hopefully you can see what's going on there. So I'm just reading this graph, okay? So I want to answer these questions. Okay, how far did I get away from home? It's probably asking me what's the furthest that I got away from home? It looks like it's here. And if I follow this line across, it tells me that I'm 600 meters away. Because remember, it's in meters. Okay? So that's the first answer, the first question on my isolation journey. When did I stop for coffee? Okay, now this is actually really important. Notice that after 0 minutes, I'm going away, and then I change my speed and I go here. But between 30 minutes and 45 minutes here, have I moved further away or closer to my home? I haven't, all right? I've stayed still. I haven't moved to 600 meters. So when did I stop for a coffee? Between 30 minutes and 45 minutes. Sorry, my Apple Pencil started loosening up, all right? Now, remember, home is this thing here. So I started at 0 minutes, and then I travelled, got my coffee here. And then over here, I start making my way back home. Why? Because see how keeps going down, and I'm getting closer and closer to 0, which is home, okay? So after how many minutes did I get home? Looks like it's 90. All right, and that's a distance time graph. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, that's line graphs. Peace out.